Hi, I'm Sean Edmondson. I'm the product manager here at RPath. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the business problem we're solving and then talk about our approach to the problem and how our product actually goes about doing it. So let's start with a business problem. So there's sort of four big drivers, I think, that are most interesting to our customers. One is that IT is being asked to do more with less. Typically, thanks to technology, the same amount of money every year gets you more and more technology. Moore's law, things get better and better. So dollars tend to be flat. But you need more and more labor. As things get more complicated and you're trying to solve more and more problems, you really want more and more people. But in today's economy, that's just not happening. Businesses are asking IT to do more with the same number of people or even less people and keeping dollars flat. So that's one big driver. Another big driver is that change is accelerating. It's accelerating for a bunch of reasons. One of the most recent ones is agile development. This is really hot. Development has suddenly figured out how to break this logjam of the waterfall model and start coming out with releases really, really quickly. Another is open source. You don't have to reinvent so many wheels these days. There's all these open source components you can go grab off the shelf to use. So change is really accelerating. IT has to deal with changes that are coming more and more quickly than they used to. Another big one is compliance. We talk to a lot of customers that have been able to ignore a lot of compliance issues over the past because they could have simplifying assumptions. For instance, maybe I have a big grid that's completely off the network, nowhere near the internet. So why do I have to worry about keeping it completely secure? Well, a lot of times from the top down, companies are being asked to become compliant with HIPAA and PCI and SOX and lots of standards, even for computers that are nowhere near the internet. So there's this big push now to get compliant with ITIL and HIPAA and PCI and just security, patching in general. IT organizations are deciding that they need to get a bunch of their servers patched, whereas before they didn't worry about it too much. So that's a big driver. And then finally, the one that's really most dramatic these days is scale. And the big enabler, there's sort of three enablers here. One is, this is 10, 15 years old, but cheap x86 servers. Now it's cheap to go buy hundreds of servers as opposed to a few big vertically integrated ones. Virtualization. All of a sudden, with one box, we can have 5 servers running it inside it instead of 1. And cloud, which is really just getting rolling, is going to make that even worse. All of a sudden, it's going to be very easy to fire up hundreds of instances where you used to have 10. So system count is just going up. So combine all these things together. If you're a hapless IT manager trying to deal with all of these, the only answer is automation. So this is what is driving our customers to automate their environments. Automation lets you become more efficient so you can do more with less. Automation is faster, so it can deal with changes that are coming down the pike more and more rapidly. Yet, these compliance standards are complicated, and if you can find a way to automate them, you can actually deal with them. And finally, scale is really the biggest driver for automation. It's one thing to do something to a single server on your own. If you have 1,000, it just doesn't scale unless you have a way to automate it.